Oh, it's fine. We didn't need that anyway. I just found a spatula stuck to my thigh. Wow. Oh my god, it is a sweaty one today, which is why I'm wearing as minimal clothes as possible. I need to get some kind of like cooling device for this room. Okay, the problem is if I have my windows open, my neighbours can hear me, you can hear the traffic from outside, and it's just not good for filming. If I have a fan in here, you can hear the fan, and it's not good for filming. I need some kind of silent cooling device for this room because this house gets so hot. Oh my god, like even just having my hair on me is already sticking to me and starting to go frizzy. Anyway, sorry. Hi guys, welcome back. Today I'm testing a Zero Pigment foundation. I have seen a lot of people talking about this foundation. I haven't watched anyone else's reviews because I want to make up my own mind. This is the Becca Zero No Pigment Virtual Foundation. So do they kind of just mean like a primer? Oh, I'm gonna have to get my hair off me. So this is described on the back as a no pigment virtual foundation that uses a clear light blur technology that diffuses around the face to smooth and blur imperfections without pigment. Formulated with hyaluronic acid to instantly hydrate, it cools on contact and helps perfect skin with a natural matte finish. Application: use a spatula. A spatula? I'm hoping it comes with the spatula because I mean I'm not using a regular spatula on my face. Okay, it's all good, it comes with the spatula. Apply product to fingertips, gently smooth and tap onto the face. That's all it says. I've got no idea how this is gonna go, but we're gonna test it. And I'm gonna see if it does anything better to my skin than a primer would, and if like makeup sits nicely on top of it, like other makeup, and I can do the rest of my face. We'll see. Let's just get into it. This wasn't cheap, so I'm hoping that it was worth the money. So all I've got on my face right now is my SPF, that is it. I've obviously cleaned my face. So I ordered this off of Cult Beauty, and let me just check the price. It was £29. So £29 for a regular foundation would be, you know, a bit more on the pricey side, but £29 for a foundation that's literally clear. Okay. I have to say, the packaging, I like it. I think it looks really cute. Kind of looks like something that belongs in your fridge and then you roll over your face in the morning to depuff your eyes. It's just a frosted glass, and then it's got the lid, and then on the inside, it's got this tiny little spatula. At least Becca knows that people have long nails and we can't be digging our fingers into this. Do you reckon that's why they've done it? Because like, so many times with products like this, I have to use the back of my nail to scoop out the product, so I'm actually quite glad about this spatula, although it is very tiny and I feel like I'd probably lose this in like 2 minutes. So, oh, wow, it kind of just looks like a silicone primer. Oh, also as well, I guess having the spatula is more hygienic because that way you're not like sticking your fingers in it. So I'm just gonna feel a bit of this. Oh, okay, that's not how I was expecting it to feel at all. It literally smells of nothing. Have I been sold a scam? Have they just sold us some like solidified water in here? I think that would just be ice. Wow, that really didn't feel as I expected it to, but the texture is really, really interesting. It looks in the container like a standard sort of silicone slippery primer, like the e.l.f. primer, the original Smashbox primer, that type of thing. But when you actually touch it, it goes a lot more liquidy and almost kind of melts on your skin and turns into more of a watery consistency rather than staying that smooth, slippery texture, which I'm quite glad about because I don't really like those type of primers. So I'm gonna insert some clips of my skin in natural lighting before I put anything on my face. I did take these clips a couple minutes ago. So this is my skin before with just my SPF on it. As you can see, I've got pretty noticeable pores, especially on my nose here and like around the sides of my nose and my sort of like cheek area. Got quite a lot of scarring and blemishes around my chin. Definitely could have put some lip balm on before filming this clip. Then my forehead is generally pretty smooth, but it's still quite like pory and oily. So this is me before. So this is my skin at the start under my softbox lights. Wow, not looking great. When I am standing in front of my lights, and especially when I get closer to my camera, my face does look a bit like extra shiny just because they're quite bright. But you can definitely see all my imperfections. As you can see, I've got pretty big pores, especially around my nose, my cheek sort of area. I'm very oily. I have got my SPF on. Oh, I've already lost the f***ing spatula. Although it is very tiny and I feel like I'd probably lose this in like 2 minutes. Are you actually kidding me? Fuck's sake, man. Oh, this is not funny. I really wish this was a joke. Right, great. Brilliant. It's fine, we didn't need that anyway. It was on my lap and then I stood up and it's just gone somewhere. I don't understand where it's possible to go and why I cannot find it, but good. What I'm really interested to see is if other products blend on top of this nicely, because sometimes when I want to go for like a no makeup look, I won't put foundation on, but then I find that my bronzer will just go really patchy and it just doesn't apply as nicely as on top of foundation. Luckily, I can just kind of stick my fingers in here at the moment because there's quite a lot of product. Let's do half my face first. So I'm gonna go for the worst half of my face. I know that my skin is mostly quite good. It said to apply to your fingertips, which I did, and then just rub and pat it in. Right. It does feel nice and hydrating. It feels nice on the skin. It's left my skin feeling a little bit sort of sticky, tacky. As of yet, it hasn't like kind of dried down, I don't think. But it does feel like it has sunk into my skin, which is interesting. It just looks exactly the same as the other side, but just a little bit less shiny. I mean, I don't know what I was expecting, but I think I was expecting more than this. Does my skin look any different? This side just looks a tiny bit smoother and a little bit less shiny than this side. On my forehead, it kind of looks the same. I wasn't expecting it to cover anything because obviously it's clear. I wasn't expecting it to get rid of any redness or anything like that. But I kind of was expecting it to maybe blur my skin a bit more because it still looks quite shiny. I mean, it could be because it's an exceptionally hot day today. You would not be able to really tell. Right, well, all I can do now is put it on the rest of my face, I guess. It may be an expensive pot of nothing, but the texture is actually quite fun to play with. Yeah, it literally doesn't smell of anything. How do they even do that? Like most products that say they're unscented normally have some sort of slight chemically smell, but I literally cannot smell this. Do I have coronavirus? Oh my god, every time I can't smell something, I'm like, have I got corona? Are you actually joking? I just found the spatula stuck to my thigh. I got up to look for it and it was still stuck to me. That is... That's when you know that I'm sweaty. Okay, well, the spatula, it works. Okay, let's just use the spatula to put on a bit more. Kind of tap it as they suggested. My skin just looks a little bit smoother, but I don't really think it's done anything worth £29. However, I'm yet to put the rest of my makeup on, but let's take you into the natural light. So we're back in my bathroom. This is what my skin looks like now. Looking at it in the natural light, I can definitely see a difference. My skin does look more matte now. I do think that my skin looks smoother and it doesn't look as oily. However, what do we think about it over my pores? I guess it's blurred them a tiny bit, but I think a regular primer does this kind of thing. My nose, chin. I mean, yeah, my skin does look smoother. I wasn't expecting lots from this, but I think I was just expecting a little bit more than what I've got. I'm just using my Revolution Concealer in Define Infinite in the shade 6. For some reason, I think the shade 6 is lighter than C5. Then I'm just adding a little bit of powder. You know what the texture of this actually really reminds me of? I've just twigged. It reminds me a lot of the Revolution XX Revolution Cloud Complexion Primer. This has got a similar sort of whipped texture. It's not exactly the same, but that's what it kind of reminds me of. And I think this one is about £15. So I'm just powdering the rest of my skin just because that's what I would normally do with my regular foundation. So we're giving it the true test. And then I'm taking my Revolution Pro bronzer in Bahia. Wow, okay. And then a little bit of blush. I'm gonna attempt a bit of nose contour. I think that worked. And then I'm literally just running a little bit of Gimme Brow through my eyebrows. And looking at my skin in the mirror with my concealer applied, with my bronzer and blush and everything applied, I think my skin does look nice. You wouldn't necessarily be able to tell kind of straight away that I'm not wearing foundation. I think it actually looks pretty smooth. However, it's definitely not as smooth and poreless as if I was to wear a foundation, like a regular Pigment foundation. Obviously I just used a little bit of concealer to cover some of my imperfections, but I think the main areas where you can tell it's not quite as smooth are definitely around my nose. Like the pores on my nose are still pretty visible. Back to the natural lighting we go. So this is me in my bathroom lighting with everything done. I'm not going to add any mascara or lips or anything because I'm just going for that no makeup. But I'm sure we can agree that around this area and on the majority of my face, it's definitely looking smoother than how I first started out, but it's not perfect, but I do think it actually looks quite nice. But then also as well, obviously I did put on that bit of concealer around my nose and on my under eyes and everything, so that will have helped too. But my bronzer, blush, highlight blended nicely over the top of it. I don't know though, £29 for like effectively a primer. So, Becca Zero foundation. My overall thoughts. Do I think this is worth £29? Probably not. At least not for me. I think you could probably use a primer and it would do something very similar. I didn't particularly notice that it smoothed my pores or smoothed my skin or mattified me any more than any of my other primers would. And I'm sure this would be a lovely primer underneath your foundation, but for me it's just that. Like, I think calling it a no pigment virtual foundation is just a bit of a gimmick and a marketing tactic, and I don't really think it's anything special, to be honest. It did feel nice on my skin, but I think £29 is a bit steep for this. That being said, Becca is more of a high-end brand, so they're not exactly going to be selling stuff for a £5. Maybe if you're somebody that is not into makeup and you want something that is just gonna... the benefits of it, it hydrated my skin and smoothed it a little bit, and it did feel nice, and it doesn't smell of anything, so maybe if you had sensitive skin this might be good, but other than that, that's kind of it for me. Like, those are the pros. Oh, the rest of my makeup blended nicely over the top of it. Those are the pros. I'm just going to check how much Becca's other primers are just to get a kind of price comparison. Right, so their other primers are around £28. Their backlight priming filter is £28. And in those ones you get 30ml, I believe. In this one you also get 30ml. So it's kind of on par with their other primer sort of prices. But if you've tried this and you love it, let me know. Or if you want to try this and give it a go for yourself, absolutely feel free. Right, I am just going to find a question of the day. If you guys have got any more questions for me, leave them down below with the hashtag question of the day and I might answer one in my next video. Today's question comes from Hannah Sewell, and she said, do you ever feel left out because I'm always seeing YouTubers take lots of holidays and never see you having a break? You deserve it. Thank you. However, that being said, the reason that I'm not on holiday right now, like I probably would be, is because of COVID, and I'm like just not choosing to go away at the moment. I was supposed to be going to Bali back in April, but obviously that got cancelled because of the travel ban. So yeah, I would have taken a holiday by now, but in terms of actually like taking a break, I do take breaks and stuff, you know, I'm not working 24/7 every single day. More recently I have been taking afternoons off to go and like spend time with my friends and stuff, and I kind of just do my work and catch up on my work when I have the time. So a lot of the time during the day I won't start working until maybe like 12 midday, and then I will do a few hours and then I will take a break halfway through, and then usually after I've had my dinner I will be working from about like 9 o'clock until about like 1 in the morning or 2 in the morning, depending on how much work I've got to do. I kind of do it in like little chunks, but I'm very lucky in the fact that I can kind of pick and choose my hours. So I do take breaks and I do kind of see my friends and family and stuff. I haven't taken extended amounts of time off. You know, I'll take a few hours off during the day, but I won't take off a full, you know, week or anything like that, just because I always feel like I have to be keeping on top of stuff because I don't want to lose the momentum of my channel and you know, posting online, because then I don't know, like you kind of have to keep up with it if you want to continue to grow. So yeah, maybe at some point I will have a time where I just take like a week off. The last time I did that was when I went to Croatia last year. I actually pre-filmed a load of stuff and then just it uploaded while I was away. Yeah, that was the last time I did it, but I mean, yeah, don't feel bad for me. It's okay. The only reason that I'm not on holiday is because of COVID. So I hope you guys are doing good. I hope you enjoyed this video. Sorry, it probably wasn't that interesting, but I was just really curious to test this. I will leave a link down below if anybody's interested. But yeah, I hope you guys are doing good and I will see you in my next video. Bye.